Tigers infield, Andy Ibanez, looking really solid. I think he's, earned some playing time and has earned an opportunity with this team. Zach McKinstry, one of the best surprises of the season. I've been really, really impressed with him. But that leaves Jonathan Schoop, who right now isn't getting that much playing time, has not driven in a run since September of last year, I believe. What
Sure.
are we looking at from him? Does he really have a place on this team anymore? And if he doesn't, what do you think they could do with him moving forward?
Yeah, obviously McKinstry is earning the time. They'll keep playing him. Ibanez, if Nick Maton doesn't hit, there's no reason not to play Ibanez at least part-time there over at third. What they do with Schoop moving forward, it's becoming hard to see them. It's becoming hard to see him on the team past Memorial Day, unless something really happens. And to be honest, the more they win and they start to, the more it starts creeping into them that maybe we can stay in this a while, the more they're going to realize, well, we've won and we've done this without anything from Jonathan Schoop. So maybe we don't need Jonathan Schoop. And I would imagine that is setting in in the front office in Detroit. The money is sunk, doesn't matter. He's going to get it either way, but maybe they're better off letting him go and find a job somewhere and moving on to other things.
Yeah, that would always be my thing, is there has to be someone you can look at that could be a suitable replacement. But I think with Cabrera, he's not really giving you a whole lot. So then you have a guy like Scope. You kind of just have two guys that aren't really doing a whole lot for you. And I feel like if they get rid of Scope, they can at least use one of those spots. But is there anybody in particular? Obviously, I don't think we would really know of anybody outside of the Tigers organization. Is there anyone in the organization that you think could maybe fill a role for this team other than Scope?
Well, you're right. I mean, they have basically two dead roster spots at the moment. I mean, at least Scope can still field a position. So, don't take that away from him. That has value. But they signed him partially for his glove, but they also signed him based on that, 7-week stretch of ungodly offense that he gave them a couple of years ago, where he absolutely torched American League pitching for almost 6-7 weeks. Unfortunately, that time ended, and he's been a very sub-mediocre player since then. So yeah, you got two dead roster spots. Justin Henry Malloy has stopped hitting a little bit, which is not a big deal in the grand scheme of things, but it probably douses some of the flames of everybody who wanted him immediately brought up, right? So I'm thinking more along the lines of, do they bring up Lipsius from Toledo, who's at least a warm body, who might have a future, see if he can hit a little. Certainly he's not going to hit less than Schoop. It's hard to hit less than nothing. So, and he can play some positions as well. Obviously probably not as well as Schoop, but he's still pretty useful at a couple positions. So that would be where I think they might go, because Kreidler has a bruised knee right now. He's been on the disabled list.